Hello everybody and welcome to Fridays with Maniac4Bricks. Yes, we're back with more of these and I'm going to try to make them more varied as time goes on, but for right now, just a couple housekeeping things to take care of. I'm not going to go into full detail about every last video idea that I have that will eventually be made, but excuse me, I burped. It hasn't been made yet, but, I just have a couple things, for now that are still on the horizon. So the first thing I wanted to bring up was the UCS Sandcrawler building livestream. That's the current project that I have right now, other than the Lego room cleanup, which I'll talk about later, that I really wanted to, work towards. I'm still trying to get all the materials together to make that work. I've mentioned before that it's possibly going to be between YouTube or Twitch as far as the live stream itself. I think YouTube will be good because there's already a good number of people here and on Instagram and other social media that are familiar with YouTube and will be easier for them to jump right in and, be a part of it. The problem is, I don't know of any charity live streams that have happened through YouTube, that haven't been re-uploaded to YouTube from another site. But I don't know of any that happened through YouTube that have an easy way to going to the charity link, So, and that's something that's important because that's making up at least half the live stream. So, that's why I opened the door to possibly doing it on Twitch, because I know that there have been people that on Twitch have live streams that will go towards charity, and they usually have some sort of area for, collecting the donations for their given charity. I haven't really found between either site as of recording this video, how exactly to set that up, technologically how to set that up between either site. So that's why it's still up in the air as to when this live stream is going to happen. And I know, it would have been great to have it on May the 4th, Star Wars Day, or even today, like Revenge of the 5th. But, I just couldn't get it done in time, otherwise it would have been an announcement earlier in the week, and would have mentioned that, but yeah, it's not going to be as topical as I would have hoped for it, and how it could have been, because, it's a Star Wars set. But it will still happen. I'm not going to fail on that idea. I just need a little bit more time and research. Now, jumping off of that, I wanted to give a quick shout out to BrickLover18. If you visit his YouTube channel, you'll see that there's a couple of videos he's put up recently. Great videos, documenting the entire experience of PhillyBrickFest 2017. He's gotten footage of all different kinds of mocks, all different events during the convention, even some outside of the convention hours with just the exhibitors and vendors. A lot of fun stuff. And I actually got to hear from somebody else that I got recorded by him when they were doing the closing ceremonies and when I won the UCS Sandcrawler. I look really dorky in the video, I gotta admit, because the shirt I had was like a size too large for me at the time, but anyways, it was a lot of fun leading up to that, just for the whole weekend in my opinion, and that was just the icing on the cake. I still can't believe that happened, and it's so funny because if you hear just as my name is being announced, you just hear like a faint "what" in the background. That's me. It's just on the side, just like, I can't believe this happened. I didn't even know if I was gonna win anything there as it was. I still want to gush about PhillyBrickFest on video, on YouTube, on my channel, but for right now, check out his videos. They are excellent, really good quality, really good recording. He had great equipment with him for the weekend. And, I will still gush about it on my channel in a couple different videos, as I mentioned before. One of those videos is going to be segue to the PhillyBrickFest haul. Now, I still want to work on this. Don't get me wrong. I know it's later than everyone else has been putting theirs up. But the problem is, I've just been moving things around between my room and my Lego room that I haven't really gotten a lot of time to record for it. And one of the things that I moved was a table, so it'll be a larger space in order to talk about said haul, or just other things in general that I might want to put on there, like mocks and things like that. And also get better lighting for it. So, pardon me if I'm late to the game, or will be late to the game, but I will still put up a video about the PhillyBrickFest haul, including the aforementioned UCS Sandcrawler. Because there are still plenty of other things that I got that I thought were really neat and got through different people. I know there are already a couple other hauls from people up on YouTube, and they are great. Go check those out. I know Brick Adjuster did one. I think either Bubba Bricks or Kellen Bricks. I forget who exactly. One of those. there are a couple other hauls. If you look it up, you'll find a couple of them. But everyone seemed like they had a great time at PhillyBrickFest, and they really enjoyed all the different Lego that they got home, to take to their kids or their families or whatever. We had a great time there all around. So, next thing I wanted to mention, the Lego room. This is a great tangent, or great segues in there. I'm still working on the Lego room. Don't get me wrong. I did a lot of progress last week, and there's still plenty more to do. I've actually been moving around a lot of pieces of furniture up to this point, but I will wait on doing a video for those because I wanted to make something good. I wanted to have a significant amount of progress since then. Because you saw in that video, I got a lot of garbage out, I got a lot of sets kind of bundled together into smaller boxes and things like that. A lot of floor space cleared. Now, after that point, I want to do a video where I talk about the lighting, I want to talk about, moving stuff around on the shelves themselves moving around, etc. And as I mentioned, the round table got moved, so I have something in its space that'll still count as a sort of building area. So, I want to share that information when I get a little bit more done there on another video, which should be coming up rather soon, as long as I get more done in a short amount of time. So, it's really good progress so far. But, keep in mind there will be a video coming up about that rather soon. Just a quick PSA. I've seen this a couple times over a long period of time, actually, between YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. And I just wanted to bring it up because I don't know if I've brought it up in video before, but people tend to forget that I don't care for it. And maybe there are other people that just don't get to see that or know that in advance. So I usually just reply to them right away with it, and it's just like, no. So I wanted to address this because it keeps happening. I don't know if there's going to be a way to really, eliminate it. It's just kind of like a reminder, if you may. I do not follow accounts because they tell me to. I do not subscribe to people because they say, subscribe to my channel. Like, I saw it recently, and I've been seeing it a whole bunch of times on different accounts, and, I usually try to ignore them at first, or I just remove it. But it's gotten a little bit more over time, and in some cases more forceful. Even when I've done Instagram live streams, which I do on at Maniac4Bricks official, quick plug there. When I do things on there, people demand that I follow them, and it's aggravating because of the aggression. And I don't follow. Look, I don't take to aggression that well, but when it's aggression out of just getting attention, it makes them seem more selfish. You know what I mean? So, to those people who do that, don't do it on my accounts. Don't do it on my stuff. Because I'm not going to do that. I follow people because I want to follow people. Not because they tell me. Not because they give me a shout out. Nothing. I do it because it's my choice. And I'm sure you would want the same for yourself. I hardly tell my subscribers to sub to my channel, on my own videos. And I hardly tell people on my own accounts to follow me or whatever, do my own posts. So, for you to do that on my posts, for your stuff, it's just kind of like taking it away and just doesn't really do anything for you. It just seems very selfish. I know people have different beliefs about that. People have different ways of doing it, and I get it. People like having an audience. People want some form of attention. I don't really, for what I have, I don't care about the numbers as much. And I do have an audience. That's what matters. Even if it's like a couple people, that's fine. And it still gives me some wiggle room so that I can be with their stuff, they can be with my stuff. We could just talk back and forth about it like people do. I don't care to have millions and millions of people because at some point you're going to get lost with them and maybe disconnect with what they're doing, what they're interested in, and that's another big thing. People have different interests. So you may be a big fan of Star Wars. You may be a big fan of Ninjago. Maybe I'm not the same kind of fan. I may like those things, but not to the degree that you do. Or it could be a completely opposite thing. I really like Bionicle, as you guys know, but maybe you don't. So, there's going to be a disconnect there, but I'm not asking you to like it as much as I do, or to follow me even though I do something that you're not really into. I don't care about that. I don't care about trying to, please everybody, or I just want to do my own stuff. Do my own stuff in my own way with my own rules. And I would ask, I'm sure you would want to do the same thing. So, quick PSA about that. All right. Jumping back on some sort of topic, there are still plenty of other things I want to do around here as far as videos go, other than the live stream and the Lego Room update. There was a couple of Brick Theory videos I wanted to do, just waiting in the wings. One of them about the Series 17 Mystery Man. Now, on the Lego's website, they do have the minifigures, updated, so it says what the characters are. And here's all it says about the Mystery Man. It first of all has a silhouette of him, so you don't actually see the, what everybody has now seen, like the actual details and prints of the figure. But here's the description. Because I thought, oh, maybe I would make a video and this might help with understanding it more. This only makes it a little bit more confusing. It says, and I quote, "Who is this dazzling, mysterious minifigure who roams the dark woods? Is he friend or foe, or maybe a little bit of both?" That's it. That's all that Lego gives us. And it doesn't even mention that his name is the Highwayman, except for the fact that in the URL of that particular page, it says lego.com/minifigures/characters/Highwayman. And normally that would be the place for any other minifigure's name. So we know that it's named the Highwayman, and people have already, talked a little bit about how it looks like a Highwayman. And I still want to do a video to try to figure out, like, why is he mysterious? Other than just being a gimmick. Why a Highwayman is being mysterious and things like that. So it'd just be a quick kind of theory, very loose base, not a lot of material to really go off of, but something interesting nonetheless. So that's coming up. Robo Riders, I still have the video like halfway done. I just need to finish up the last part of it. But I wanted to put that aside for this Series 17 video because it's a little bit topical, and I'm going to be a little bit on the topical side. SEO, and all that stuff. But, I have stuff in the wings. And another thing on the wings. I mentioned before that I wanted to do stuff for the Fridays to make them more unique. So, one of the things I wanted to do was, with my channel in general, I want to have more of a educational sort of thing to it. Not necessarily about real life education, the way the Brick Theorists will do. It will do that. Trust me. But I want to do it in more the way of learning a little bit more about Lego itself. History of Lego. Different Lego products that maybe you haven't heard of before. And things like that. I still want to have objective videos like top 10s and things like that. They will come. But I wanted to have something that would be more interesting in Lego's long-running history. Maybe I've watched a little bit more of the Game Historian, but I think it'll be a lot of fun, especially on a weekly basis. For example, I'm just going to give you a tidbit of one of the ideas that I have. I'm not going to spill the whole details. But did you know that at one point, Lego was planning to work with a car company to make a Lego car? I'm not going to give you any more details than that, because I want to keep that just in case I want to work on it for the video. I still got a little bit more research to find for that, but if I do that, that would be really cool. It'd be something that I've almost never heard anybody talk about. I've only seen like 2 or 3 vague pieces of information that talk about it thus far, and I want to find more as much as I can. So that would be fun to share. And maybe other videos that would be kind of like that. It's kind of like what I did, I think, in 2015 when I had the Relics collection of all these like obscure and odds and ends of Lego merchandise or things I've done interacting with Lego that were kind of interesting. Very unique things that you don't really see too many places. And sure, they may not represent a lot, to other people, but to me, they're, nice pieces of information or at least nice pieces of merchandise. So it's not that I live for the obscure because of a hipster mentality or anything like that. It's not trying to do that. I just want to have something new to bring to the table of all the Lego fans that there are online. This would be something new to put in and start some conversation. So we'll see how that goes. All these things, we'll definitely come back here for more videos or follow me on Instagram at Maniac4Bricks Official. I do post a lot on there, so we'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, everyone.